Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Box, the Technical Trader. It's Thursday night, May the 12th, and these are the charts of the day. Most of the stocks that we're going to talk about tonight are biotech or biotech related. Some others are low-priced stocks that are spiking up here. And I want to remark that we often see this kind of spiking activity in low-priced stocks towards the tail end of very intermediate market, so we got to be careful up here. But in any case, make hay when the sun shines. ARTX, which we pointed out the last couple of days, has had a big move, more than doubling just in the last 5 sessions, from 118 to 242. Today up another 20 cents or 9.5%, and closing at 230 at 9.55 million. Pretty strong volume. Now you can see a range of resistance up here. We may be able to get this up a little higher towards 2 3/4, but at some point we're going to get some kind of pullback retest. BPAX, Bioscientific Pharmaceuticals. Now the thrust today of 21 cents or 9% on 5 million shares. By the way, the biggest volume since early March. Got us right up to and closing near a key resistance level from the February-March highs, but those were intraday highs, and today was a closing high. So optimistic that we may see a follow-through, and additional upside would get us to a 2.5-year base, which could move the stock into the mid-single digits, $4 to $5 range. And that's what we'll target for our initial and secondary targets, 4 and 5. Calix, CALX, beautiful rising channel, but today jumped to $1.22 and closed at the highest closing range in years, and may have come across this double top in the zone here. If we do break out here, and the volume today was over 1 million shares, we look for a move that could take this up towards the 27, 28 zone. Discovery Laboratories, another junior biotech, has been very strong the last 2 sessions. Yesterday jumping 28 cents or 14.8% on 4.4 million. Today another 48 cents or 22% on 8 million shares. So strong volume and emerging out of the short base pattern. Today filled the gap. Additional upside could get us up to test that 3 3/4, 4 zone, our shorter term target, if we do get some follow through. Dynavox, DVOX, communications equipment manufacturer, exploded today for $1.84, 30.4% on 1.25 million. That's the biggest volume in a long time for this thin stock. Now it's up into this key resistance range that I've drawn in from last year, but the possibility exists that if we do have further momentum, the stock could move up into that 13, 14 range. That's my intermediate target. My short-term target is 11. Global Crossings, more upside today, up another 60 cents or 2%, but you can see that ever since it broke out of this coil, it's been moving steadily higher. Today we reached near key resistance zone, and we may have a short-term pullback from this zone, but ultimately momentum could get this to the mid-30s. Junior Biotech GTXI continues undauntedly, despite the fact we had a midweek sharp drop or an early week sharp drop. The stock snapped right back and now is up against the 585 area, which is key lateral resistance. And move through here, and we can see the stock move up towards 6.5 and then 8. My next few targets for this. Up next is we have ONTY, another junior biotech, Oncothyreon, which popped a couple days ago, pulled back on a beautiful 2-day flag, low volume, and today popped again up 68 cents at 14%, 1.5 million. And at this point, it looks like we may see further upside that tests this next resistance level up around the 6, 6.25 range. ORBK, Orbotech, today exploded out of this declining channel, moving up through the 21 and 50-day moving averages and through the declining tops line. My next target at the early April high around 14.5, secondary target at about 15.5, 3/4. Oxigene, moving like a banshee, has run from 191 to 607, more than tripling in the last 6 sessions. Right now, we're up against a key overhead resistance zone in this area, so we look for something, maybe a pullback consolidation in this zone. But if any further upside is had and we break out here, it wouldn't shock us to see this stock up near $7. PKT, Procera Networks, which we twice traded here and here for swing trades, after forming a beautiful flag in April, moved back to the high and backed off the retest moving averages. But over the last 2 sessions, has moved up on very heavy volume, today jumping $1.07 or 9.6% on more than 500,000. It looks like it's headed towards the top of the channel. My measurement is around 16. That's our trading target for PKT. Questcor has been a monster in the last year and has moved all the way up from 3.5 to 24.93 at the high today. And that today's high, spiked up to the top of the channel. So we look for some kind of consolidation in this range. But certainly all-time highs and more upside momentum may be had here. Look for something in the mid to high 20s short term. Up next after QCOR is QTWW, another strong momentum stock, which has moved from 2.25 to 545 in the last 6 sessions. Now that it's up against this key overhead resistance and the gap from February, you may see the stock back off in the zone to consolidate, but certainly upside momentum is strong, and if we do break through here and momentum continues, my target's 8.5. REDF may be bottoming in the zone after this beautiful move from 7 to almost 18 in a 2-week period. The stock pulled down in an orderly fashion with lower volume. Technicals held up pretty well, and as you can see in the last 4 or 5 sessions, the stock has moved sideways and based out or consolidated, holding the 21-day moving average and lateral price support around the 1160 area. In any case, a move through today's high at 1333 or so could get this one rolling, and we look for a move back up to test the 17.5, 18 zone, with a secondary target should it break out in the low 20s. Sapient, SAPE, popped a few days ago with its big breakaway gap, and then formed a beautiful 4-day or 3-day coil flag. Today it popped 56 cents at 4% on 2.1 million and appears to be headed for higher levels. The top of the channel, the way I've drawn it in, looks like $16, 16.5 a short-term target. Symantec, big day today on 35 million shares up $1 or 5.3%. More importantly, breaking out of this 2-week flag and headed now, it appears, for a date with destiny at the top of the channel around 22.5, 23. And up next would be Vical, which has been running like crazy. In the last 90 days, it's gone from $1.70 to $4.84. Today, spiking 87 cents or 22%, and breaking through lateral price resistance and the top of the channel. At this point, it wouldn't shock me to see a little bit more extension and a move up towards the 5.5, 3/4 range. Vermillion was the star of the day today, jumping 73%. We caught it fairly early and made some money for our people today, but more importantly, if you can see the lateral price resistance in this zone through here, it was taken out today with an explosive move. It also took out the declining tops line, the 21-day and 50-day moving averages, and closed not only at the high for the day, but in the aftermarket was trading about 6.5. Fantastic move, which could see more upside momentum, and it wouldn't shock me to see this at 8 or 9 in the coming days. And that's it for tonight and for this week. You guys have a good weekend. We'll talk to you Monday night.